Welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we are joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey goaltender Mario Cavaliere. Mario played this past season with the Carolina Thunderbirds in the Federal Prospects Hockey League, where he spent the season for them, went on a playoff run with them. He also spent last year overseas in Sweden, and so that was his first year of professional hockey. And then before that, he played 2 years of college USports at Brock University, while also playing in the BCHL, the OJHL, and the NOJHL for juniors. So this is going to be a really exciting episode. So I'm excited to have Mario on the show. So welcome to the show, Mario Cavaliere.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks for having me, man. I'm super excited to come on and talk, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I know we've had our scheduling conflicts, but we literally planned this maybe an hour ago. So I'm glad to have this going right now, have this rolling.
Yeah. Barely had time to do my hair for you, so that's
Hey, look, it looks great.
Perfect.
Yeah, but to start things off, like I usually go like youth, junior, college, pro, but we're fresh off the season, and it's your second year professionally, first year in North America. So what was your time like in Carolina this year? And like just take us through. It was such a historical run for the Carolina Thunderbirds. So just take us through the year.
Yeah, well, I think right away, like even at the beginning of the year before we even got there, I think we could all like look at that roster and we all kind of realized like we got something special here. We got a lot of really good pieces here that we can go on a big run. And I think we started off a bit slow. And once we found our groove, we just kind of ran with it. And we had such a great group of guys and such a talented group. And once we came together and we started clicking, it almost seemed we almost felt unbeatable. So unbelievable. The weather was crazy. So way different than Sweden. Also, a lot warmer, and I got a lot more sun. So take that every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely was a good year, a fun year for you. It seems like. So like what was just like the city of Winston-Salem like, especially like the where you guys go to eat, like hang out, like I've heard that place is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Which place?
Oh, Winston-Salem,
Oh,
like the
Winston in
city.
general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, we went to a lot of different places. We went to a few breakfast spots we liked a lot, like Young Cardinal and First Watch and stuff like that. We'd go to a bunch, and then we always there's this pub like Gatsby's that we can go to after the games and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of different things we could do. And I don't know, for me being Canadian, it was more about just like those like generic American restaurants that I
Yeah.
can't get back home. That it's like, wow, like this is awesome. Like for me, like Cookout, I was like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
it's
for
just
me,
yeah, so it's a great city, great place to be in, I've heard.
oh, dude, great place to be. Like the fans are the best fans I've ever played in front of my entire life, and the weather's unbelievable. Like scenery, everything about it. I really enjoyed my time there, man. Really enjoyed it, and went along with a great group of guys that made it even more special for sure.
Yeah, it's like what's the atmosphere like inside I believe it's called the Annex, right?
Yeah, the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, but it's nuts, dude. Like, definitely wouldn't want to be a visiting team, and definitely wouldn't want to be a visiting team goalie in that rink for sure, because they are hard on them and they're loud, dude. So, but it's fun, man. It's fun, and it definitely plays big into our advantage. And I think you could tell our home record. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is, but we were solid at home, and big thanks to that goes to our fans for sure, because they came every single night and they were just as loud each and every night, and we appreciate them so much, and they were huge for us.
Yeah, the place just seems like it was buzzing from like the YouTube feed. Like it pretty much seemed like it was sold out every night.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, like those last few games where I was hurt and watching it from the stands, like it was nuts, man. Like you almost kind of get drawn into it and want to start yelling with them. Like it's infectious, man. It's crazy up there. They're the best, and we're super thankful for all of them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. It's like what do you think was some of the biggest things you learned from this first pro season in North America?
I think preparation. I think just the importance of preparation. The season's so long, and the road trips are far as well, and long road trips, and so you spend a good amount of time on the road, and then it's a long season, a lot of back to backs. So I think just your day to day preparation, taking care of yourself, making sure you're getting the rest you need. I think that was the biggest thing for me, especially coming off my season in Sweden, where like the season's much shorter. I think we play like, I think it's like 30 games instead of what was it here, like 58 or something
56 or
like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a much longer season. So that was definitely a big adjustment. And that was something that I think that I learned for sure, how the importance of preparation, how big it plays into your day to day.
Yeah, so that really helped you like have like the career year you did because you played 28 games, went like 21-5 throughout the year. So like a career year for you. So do you think just like having that preparation and that like mental mindset to helped you really get to the level you wanted to be at?
Yeah, I think so, because I think the thing that helped me the most, that I found the most effective for myself, was we have the benefit of the games being posted on YouTube and going back to, you can go back
Yeah.
and watch them whenever you want. So I think that once I started getting into a routine of like taking a part of the day to sit down, watch it, and rewatch it, and figure out what I like, figure out what I didn't like, and ask questions and figure out what's going on. I think once I got into that, that's when I really started to get confident in my game and my routine day to day. And I think that's when I started to kind of try different things in practice and tweak different things, and found a little bit of success there.
Yeah, and like that's the beauty of it all, just having like that like that place to go to watch your games and just be able to like critique like what you're doing, like if you could do something better to just be able to work on that like at practice like you said, and like it's a tool to help you get better overall and have that confidence in your game.
Yeah, exactly. And you hear about it so much from the pro guys, and like even like on Instagram posts like that, In Goal magazine, stuff like that. They're
Yeah.
always going over video stuff. So I think it's a crucial part of the game, and a big benefit that we have now. And I definitely tried to take advantage of that as much as I could this year.
Yeah, absolutely. But you guys went on a huge playoff run, ending in the championship game in Game 5. So, like, what was that run like? I know you were sidelined because you're injured, but like just being there and being like around the team, like, what was that whole atmosphere like?
Well, first of all, more nerve wracking watching it from the stands as opposed to being in there. But just super proud and supportive of like how well the boys were playing and how well they were coming together. Like, we faced so much adversity that last quarter of the year. We went through a good amount of injury trouble, and it didn't stop us. It didn't slow us down. We got into that Port Huron series, and Boris was unbelievable. And even heading into the next series, Greg was great against Columbus and even against Danbury. So I mean, we just clicking. Like, we just got to a point of the year. At some point in the middle of the year, it just all started to click, and we found that, and we kind of ran with that.
Yeah, and like that's like what championship team or championship caliber teams are made of, is just like when everything's like going wrong with the adversity, like just to be able to have that like click and to have the boys like go to war for each other every single day, no matter who's in the lineup, like those are teams you want to play for.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was part of it too. Like, I think we just came together so well as a group. Like, I think we were just ended up being such a tight knit group, like joking around together and
Yeah.
having fun, that it was super easy to go to war together for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to get into your first year pro here. So you played a year in Sweden with I'm gonna butcher it, Ange IK, and then Ostersunds IK in Division 2, and then Hockey Eden. So like what was that year in Sweden like, especially since it was your first year pro overseas?
Yeah, so that was a big transition for me because the game is just so different than North
Yeah.
America, right? Like, you get on the wide ice, and it's a bunch of guys who are super fast and skilled, and it's not very physical, but it's just super fast. It's super upscale in that way. But um, I don't know, man. It was definitely tough for the first little bit in the exhibition parts. We played like, I think it was like 4 exhibition games or something like that. I think those were huge for me because that kind of was able to allow me to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, because not only the hockey was different, but it was my first time ever outside North America in general. So that was another big change for me, like aside from hockey itself. So gave me some time to just get comfortable where I was and get my bearings. And then we had a good amount of Canadian guys on the team as well. So that always helps when you have other guys there
Yeah.
who are kind of going through the same things you are. And that was fun, man. We had a really good team there as well. I want to say we finished first in our conference, or in our division that year. And then it was a promotion playoffs that just didn't go our way. But Super fun year there as well. I had a blast there. We had a great group of guys that like we still talk today. So super thankful for that. And then to get the opportunity to get called up as well to play for Ostersund was huge. It was something that was one of my goals when I went there at the beginning of the year. So to have that happen was massive. And to get that opportunity, I was super thankful for. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And then they ended up getting a promotion themselves. So they ended up winning their own season after and getting promoted to the Allsvenskan. So it's kind of like, all right, that's kind of neat. But so that was
Part
fun,
of
man. That was a
history there.
really fun. Yeah, yeah. I was a part of the Ride Boys, so I want the ring. But it was fun, man. That was a fun year of hockey, and Europe was really cool. Really enjoyed my time there.
Yeah, so like what's the call up process like, especially in Sweden, since like it's you're probably dealing with the language barrier in Sweden compared to North America. So like what was the call up like going, or like that first call, like what was it like?
Um, they kind of go through the coaches there, so pretty similar to how it would be in North America, based on just the process of getting called up. And honestly, man, I kind of was lucky that my first experience overseas was Sweden because so many people speak English
Yeah.
there that it honestly was never even a problem for me. So I was super lucky and thankful for that as well.
Yeah, so like what was like, you talked about like culture shock and like it's your first time out of North America. So what was different about the lifestyle from North America to over there in Sweden?
Just like the day to day, like how laid back everyone is, and just the way of life there. I really like that. That's what I took to the most. Is just how easygoing everyone was, and then the toughest part though was in Sweden. I was super north in Sweden, so once it got to around like October, I think it was like sunlight for like 4 hours a day, maybe or something like that, because we were pretty far up in the north there. So that was kind of strange for sure. That was super strange, but got to see the Northern Lights while I was there too, man. So always wanted to do that, and that was really cool. So I was super happy I could do that as well.
Yeah, so
But
how cool was seeing the Northern Lights?
oh, it's like it's seeing in real life is nothing like the pictures, man. Like it's actually unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
hopefully one day I'll be able to see the Northern Lights. I know in Illinois you could see a little of it, but I never was able to. So hopefully sometime soon.
yeah, definitely something you got to check out, man, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But this has been like you wrapped up your second year pro between North America and overseas in Sweden. So like, and like, as a goalie, like mindset is a huge thing as a goaltender. It's like what do you do to help like have a good mindset before games, before practices, to just be dialed in and ready to go?
Uh, I am two completely different humans on a game day to a practice day, and every team and all my teammates I've ever played with could probably attest to that. But day to day at practice, I like to just like it's hockey. It's fun. You know what I mean? I like
Yeah.
to have like it's still the most fun thing I've ever done, and still the thing that I love to do the most. So practice, I'm work hard and have fun. Like those are my two things. And work hard, have fun, and try to learn something new and try to do something different. You know what I mean? So that for practice, but on game day, it's definitely like once I'm there, there's a certain part in the process of getting ready that headphones go on and I'm not really talking to anybody. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of I get zoned into my own world and kind of get focused on doing my own thing, and I'm not worried about absolutely anything else around me. So I think I just need that. Um I think because you spend that whole game alone in the net,
Yeah.
you kind of need to rev yourself up to that point that like you're kind of taking on this challenge against an entire team, right? And that you got to
Yeah.
help your team, give your team a chance to win, right? So um, it's funny because my dad always used to say to me when I was a kid, he'd be like, "Well, like if you win, it's because of you, but like if you lose, like it's because of you." So
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. I want to win." So it's funny, but I definitely need that. Like I would say it's probably like an hour and a bit that I put my headphones on, go do my own thing, like a ball warm up, and then just kind of dynamic stuff. Nothing really crazy. And then visualization I found was like a big thing. Like visualization along with doing the video review on my own. I found like those two things were huge and super beneficial.
Yeah. So what do you do for visualization? Do you just like imagine yourself in the net, or like how do you do it?
Yeah, pretty much. And then kind of just try to pick a scenario in a game that maybe has happened or that I've that's crossed my mind on how I would play it, and just play it out in my mind, just play it out the way I would want it to play out in my mind. And if it's something that had already happened, a play that I from the past or something, like go through that and play it in my mind and how it did happen and how I would want it. If I could change it, what would I do? Kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, which is
Yeah.
why with the video that was super nice because I could watch it and kind of like replay it and be like, well, if I would have done this, this, or this, you know, maybe outcome is different, right? So,
Yeah.
I think they kind of were hand in hand for me, which was huge.
Yeah, it's crazy how we could just go back into a time where we get scored on and be like, if we did this different, it wouldn't have gone in, but like we did this, and like exactly right at that second like what you did wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
it's crazy to just think about it.
Yeah, because it's like just do it, man.
Exactly. You should have had that.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's super helpful though, and I think it's something that I feel like a lot of people are starting to implement in their routines and their day to day and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you said you put the headphones on in game day and like you just dial in. So like what's going through your headphones when you have them in?
Oh, dude, it's got to be Slim Shady to start for sure. It's got to
The
be
great
Eminem,
song.
dude. Yeah, like he's definitely my favorite. And then besides that, after that, it kind of just turns into a bunch of EDM stuff.
Yeah.
Um, that what's that song called that just came out? I'm Good or something. That remix
Oh
of
yeah.
Blue. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was loving that one this year. I had that one requested for warm up even during the game, so
Nice.
I was
Did you
loving
get
that
that?
one.
Did you get that one, Granson?
Yeah, yeah, I got that one in there, so I was fired up about that. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was
there we
one of my
go.
tunes for this year for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like my playlist goes from EDM, country, rap, pop, like it literally goes to any genre, but it's like whatever gets you dialed, gets you dialed.
Okay, yeah, you like to mix it up then, eh?
Yeah,
Keep it different.
absolutely. Got to have a little bit of everything.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but let's go on to your college days a little bit here in 2020, 2021. You did not play. So like what'd you do throughout that year before we get into Brock University?
Yeah, so that COVID year, or that was the COVID year. So um, that was kind of the point where um, I knew that I had to do something different for myself. I didn't want to. I didn't want to not play a year of hockey,
Yeah.
and so I tried to go to the SPHL that year in Birmingham, and then that just didn't end up working out. And honestly, at that point, I thought I was done. So because then next year I ended up going to Sweden. So what's funny about that is I left for Sweden, and I think it was August, and I didn't really decide like, hey, I really want to do this like I until I don't know, maybe June, July. So it was kind of funny because I like there was a point where I thought I was done, and then I just got
Yeah.
to like I just kind of realized like I'm not ready to put this away yet.
Missed
Like
the
I want to
game
keep
too
trying.
much.
Yeah, yeah. So they got to the point where I was like, I'm not ready to put this away. I want to try and see what happens and keep going here. But that's kind of what that year was for me, and definitely a tough year and a tough year for everybody, man. I mean,
Yeah.
so many guys lost opportunities or whatever the case may be, but tough year for everybody, and it sucks that happened. But thankful that I ended up getting that opportunity in Sweden to keep playing and doing something that I love to do every day.
Yeah, so how did that call to Sweden like happen? Like what did you have like an advisor, an agent get you there? Did you like how do you end up in Sweden?
I was Adrian Soon from Import Management helped me, and then it's funny because we ended up playing. We played together in Sweden, but played for Columbus this year. Michael Greco was on the team, and he played there the year before. So my brother had actually played with him in juniors, and so he kind of caught wind that I was looking to go overseas, and he sent me a message, and we met up and hung out a couple times, and we were just like, yeah, like let's do this. It'd be fun. We'd have a good team, and if we can bring a couple other Canadian guys over,
Yeah.
that'd be great. And then, well, sure enough, Kyle Moore ends up coming with us too from Columbus. So we had a good team. We had a good team, and we had a lot of fun. And it's funny. It's weird playing against them now, especially being in Carolina, where I think those two guys are like the two most hated guys in Carolina. So
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but when you play against your buddies like that, like the competition just ramps up, and then you probably hear about it when they either score on you or you make a save. Like you just give it to them after.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. It's give and take for sure. And it's funny, and it's funny because Greco plays in front of that on the power play, so just having him whisper in my ear while he's standing in front of me, uh, definitely something that I'm not used to.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's most fun when you're playing against your buddies and you can just chirp them and just go back and forth with them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Adds a little bit something extra to the game for sure.
Oh yeah, but let's get on to Brock University here. So you played 2 years in Brock University in USports from 2018 to 2020. So like, what were those 2 years like? You played 4 games your freshman year, and then you played 19 your second year. So like, what was the differences between like freshman and sophomore year?
Well, my freshman year, our other goalie is this guy Logan Thompson. If you ever heard of him, so
Isn't he in the
so
Stanley Cup right now?
yeah, so that guy's pretty good. So no, I didn't end up playing very much, but ended up being a huge year for me where we have a Logan Thompson here that I get to watch every day at practice and watch him every game he's playing. So even just another part of my career where being able to watch a guy that was so talented, and then kind of watch him do what he's doing now, like, is incredible, and like good for him. He's an unbelievable goalie, and he's doing so well for himself. And I'm super thankful that I crossed paths with him because there's so much of what I watched him do that I still try to imply in my games, and that's stuck with me today from watching him. So I'm super thankful that he was there. And then I think that that even helped me in that second year because then I got to play a good amount of games when he left for
Yeah.
pro. And I think watching him prepare and all that stuff was huge for me to kind of take the reins. And then unfortunate part of that year as well is I ended up hurting my knee too. So I kind of missed time in that season and tried to come back, and just didn't end up going the way I wanted it to go when I came back. And so that kind of concluded that year. And then the next year was that COVID year. And that's kind of when it was a scramble for me. So that was kind of a quick 2 years, but so much fun, and such a great group of guys over there too, and such a great program at Brock. And it's even getting better now. They just built a brand new rink and facility in there that's gorgeous. Like, so great program there, and great group of guys that we had, and good teams too. Good teams and a lot of good players.
Yeah, that's awesome. You had a guy like LT, like he's a bucket list guest to get on the podcast for sure. But like, just to be able to learn from a guy like that, like what were some of the biggest things you took away from him?
Like just how competitive he was in practice. Like he didn't want to be scored on. Like it didn't matter what drill we were doing. Like it could be like a 5-on-0, and this guy's like, and this guy's
This guy's
making saves.
crazy.
But yeah, you know what I mean. And it's like so his competitiveness in practice, and then he's probably the best skater I've ever seen. His skating is unbelievable. He's an NHL All-Stars goalie, and his skating is a huge part of that. I would say I think he's one of the best skating goalies in the league, and he always has been. And that's kind of one thing that I took from him, and I try to work on when I have time, is a bunch of different skating drills that I would watch him do in practice and stuff like that. And so definitely those two things were something that stick with me today from him.
Yeah, and like just from like hearing guys like you and like LT, what you just said with like skating and all that. Like skating is the most important thing as a goalie, because if you can't skate, you're gonna be behind the
Yeah,
play and you're not gonna be able to make saves. Like just having a good skating foundation and just working on it every single day, like is gonna help you big time. And why not improve your skating? Because it's gonna help you get that advantage that, especially since the game's getting so much faster every year, like just being able to have like that foundation is gonna help you big time.
yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. And it's evident in today's game and in today's NHL. So yeah, I mean, it's huge, and he was awesome at it, and I'm super thankful I got the opportunity to kind of learn from him in that aspect.
Yeah. So like what were some of your favorite memories from Brock?
Uh, well, we always played this exhibition. We called it the Steel Blade game. So it'd be us and golf. We played at the Meridian Center where the Ice Dogs play,
Yeah.
and it'd be like the homecoming game. So the rink would sell out, and then right after that, the rink was downtown. So right after that, it was kind of right out to the bars and stuff like that. And the Steel Blade like was literally like a sword in a box. Like the winner of that game got a sword in a box. So my first year at Brock, we won it, and brought the sword right with us right into the bar and had some fun with it. So that was something for sure that I'll always remember. My first experience at Brock, where you kind of uh, felt more than just a hockey team at the school, but a part of the school community as well. So something really cool and something I'll never forget for sure.
Yeah, it's a great like memory to have, especially since like you're actually trying to play for something. Like it's a
Yeah,
regular season game. You're trying to win the sword in the box, and when you do, like people are probably at the bar like, what's this sword in a box doing here? But it's like it's everything to the boys.
yeah, and yeah, it was for sure, and we had some fun, and definitely a game and a night I'll remember forever for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we go on to juniors, like juniors to college is a different game. So like, what was that transition going from junior hockey to playing U sports?
Um, well, for me especially because I played junior A, tier 2 junior, right? So as soon
Yeah,
as you go to U Sports, it's such a major junior dominant league, right? Like a bunch of
yeah,
those guys are coming from major junior, so you see a whole different wave of players that you never really cross paths with. So that for sure, just being like, okay, wow, like there's a whole nother grade of players out here. But it was fun, man. Like it was fun. It was competitive every game, and I think in U Sports, everyone recruits a good team for the most part, and everywhere you go, you're going to get a good game, and it's fun, man. I had a lot of fun, and it's competitive, and guys want to win, and guys are proud to go to the schools they go to, man. So it's fun for sure.
yeah. That's unreal. And like my goalie coach always says, like you haven't seen good until you go up another level, and like it's a whole nother level of good, great hockey players that are looking to get to even the next level. So you always see different competition and better competition as you go up the levels.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, but what made you go to Brock University? Did you have like other schools go offering you, or was Brock like your only offer?
Well, I just think that it made the most sense for me if I couldn't get the Division 1 scholarship to
Yeah,
do U Sports instead of trying to do something else in the States where maybe financially it'd be a bit tougher for a Canadian guy to go over and play.
yeah,
So I think for me, and in junior 2 year, for me, I was outside of school for a long time. Like those 3 years for me, like were just junior hockey. So
yeah,
hindsight would have done some classes probably, but um, so 3 years for me was 3 years off. And then I was kind of nervous about going back. So I wanted to go to a place that wasn't like this massive, crazy place either. So that's also another reason why I really like Brock was the school was a good size for me where I was comfortable getting around the school and it was a friendly community and stuff like that. So I think I think for me it just made the most sense to go to U Sports to play at a high level of hockey, a competitive level of hockey that gets scouted well. And my goals through junior college were the same the whole time that I wanted to play pro hockey after. So I knew that that avenue would still be available to me going this route. And so for me, it made a lot of sense, and I'm happy I did. I'm happy I did. It was a lot of fun, and we had good teams and memories, like I was saying, that I'll keep forever for sure.
yeah. That's awesome, and especially like when you find that right school for you, and like it makes the most sense. Like you just
Yeah,
enjoy every moment you have at that school, and which for you is Brock.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but moving on to junior hockey a little bit here. You played 3 years in junior hockey in the NOJHL, the OJHL, and you also got some time in the BCHL as well. So like what were those 3 years of junior hockey like for you?
A blast, man. I had so much fun. I was an 18-year-old rookie in Powassan in the NOJ, and like just this small little town. I think it was like 30 minutes outside North Bay. So that was really cool, man. It was the people there really cared about the team, and I had great billets, great group of guys, and it was kind of my first experience playing with guys older than me too, right? Like,
Yeah.
so that was a good teaching moment for me as well, just to kind of not only mature as like a hockey player, but as a person as well, like being away from home for the first time and everything like that. And we had a good team, and we had a great coach in Scott Ray. So super thankful for him. A huge reason why I still play today is some of the speeches he would give to us and stuff like that. And so just a great coach and a great hockey mind. Super thankful I crossed paths with him in my career. But definitely missed home, which is why I wanted to go back closer to home for me, which is why I ended up in the OJ the next year with Burlington and with another great coach in Mark Juris and another great team. And we had a great season and so much fun. For me, it was awesome because I was able to live at home and be around my friends.
Yeah.
While playing a great league and play on a really competitive team that I was super, super happy to be on. And then same idea with Georgetown, right? Like same idea there. We had Greg Walters and he was awesome and a great team. And then at the deadline in my Georgetown year, I got traded to the BC and Surrey. Brandon West was coaching that team. He was a good coach for us and a lot of good players in that league too. Like we had Johnny Wesley, who ended up leading the league in goals that year. He was a WHL guy who also ends up going and playing USports in Windsor. You know what I mean? So just so many good players on that Surrey team. And kind of a disappointing end for us. We ended up losing in Game 7 in the second round to Prince George. So on a terrible road trip too. Like we lost Game 6 at home. And then it was like, I think 8 hours or something like that, or 10 hours or something, bus ride that night to play the next day in PG. I think we rolled in at like 7:30 in the morning or something and played that night. And it just didn't go our way. It was just a tough bounce, but that was fun, man. That was a lot of fun. Everywhere I played in junior, I came across great people and teammates that I still talk to, and I'm super thankful for all the teams I was able to play for in junior.
Yeah, so you talked about like playing against older guys and like it was your first experience playing against guys that are stronger, bigger. So like what did you have to do to adjust to their game to help you succeed in junior hockey?
Well, I think that was like the first like realization of like, okay, it's time to start like being more serious about like off ice stuff like that,
Yeah.
and taking care of myself better and stuff like that. And so because now it's a whole nother, like now you're playing against men, right? Like now
Yeah.
you're 18, guys are 20, and then same when you go to junior, right? You're 21, guys are 23, 24, right? So and 25, right? So
Yeah.
um definitely an adjustment for sure. And but I think that that was another part of going to the Northern League that I thought was good for me was there were a lot of those guys that were bigger guys. So kind of forced me to kind of money ball, adapt or die. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
happy I went, and super thankful I did, because like I said, Coach Scott Ray was great for us and great for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And like throughout your junior career, you put up extremely good numbers. And then when you went to Surrey, you went 3-9 in the regular season, but then so you faced some adversity there. But then came playoff time, and you went 7-6. So like, what was that facing that adversity like for you, and just trying to figure out like the BCHL game and trying to get wins for your team?
Yeah, it was funny because my first week there, I had 2 shutouts in 3 games or something, and then just couldn't buy a win, like, for the longest time. So, like, it's funny, but I think a big part of that, and I was younger too, and I think a big part of that was that transition was me trying to prove myself to that team that I belonged there, and that
Yeah.
there was a reason why I got brought there and everything like that. And I think once I realized, like, man, like, you're overthinking this. Like, this is hockey. This is fun. Like, just go out there, do your thing. There is a reason why he brought you here, and just go out and show it. You don't gotta do anything extra. You know what I mean? So I think once we got into playoff time, I was really comfortable, and we had a great group of guys, a lot of fun. We had a great captain in Jordan Robert, who always made everyone feel super comfortable, and one of the funniest guys I know for sure. So that was huge, and I just got really comfortable and just believed in the group we had. And we honestly did think we could have won the league, and like I said, super unfortunate the way it ended. But I don't know. To this day, I think if we win one more game, we end up winning another 8. That put us in a different situation. But it is what it is now, and can't
Yeah.
change it. But
Yeah, but like you get put in a situation where you get brought up and then you get two shutouts in the first 3 games, then you can't buy a win. But like it all goes back to like what you said, what you were saying, and like having fun. Like you play the best when you're not overthinking, you're not thinking too much, and you're just out there having fun. Like those are your best games, and that's when like the wins are just gonna come to you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's when I'm playing my best as well, is when I'm having fun and I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with the group of guys and everything. I think that's when I'm at my best. And I was lucky that every team I played on in junior, was a great group of guys and a lot of fun and good teams for sure.
Yeah, so you grew up in Mississauga, Ontario. So like what was growing up in youth hockey like for you and like what got you started with the position of goaltending?
So my dad was a goalie, and also the reason why I wore 72 this year was for him because he's born in 72 and he was a goalie. So definitely was super nice to attribute that to
Yeah.
him this year. And but that's the reason why I ended up playing goalie. My whole family's been in love with this game, though. It's been everything we've known since we were kids, and everything we love to this day. So, hockey is just one of those things that I felt like I always kind of, it always just stuck with me. The first time I touched the ice, I always just loved it.
Yeah.
And then youth hockey in Mississauga is competitive, man. Like the GTHL is a good minor hockey league. A lot of great NHLers come through the league, through the GTHL, and it's competitive and it's fun. And definitely happy I got to experience what minor hockey is like in the Toronto area for sure. But my biggest takeaway from minor hockey, though, for sure, is just the friendships. Because, like I keep saying, like at the end of the day, hockey is about fun
Yeah.
and the life lessons you learn and kind of mature in you and everything like that. So I made so many good friends and some that are still my best friends to this day that I see daily. And so that I think was my biggest takeaway from minor hockey is the friendships and the life lessons learned, and those are with me today. And I don't know, that's my takeaway from minor hockey.
Yeah, and like those are like the best times when you create those friendships. Like you go on, like you go to tournaments, you play in mini sticks in the hotel lobby, like
Yeah,
just stuff like that. Like those are memories that you make with the boys that are gonna last you a lifetime. Even if you were 6 years old, like you're still gonna remember those days all the way up, all the way for the rest of your life.
yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Especially all those away tournaments and stuff like that. Driving up with your
Oh
parents
yeah,
up to away tournaments, getting in the hotel for sure, man. Yeah, those are always a blast. Always parts of the year I look forward to.
yeah.
Getting
The
that
the
Friday off of school
the
when you're a
best
kid.
times. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no school. That's the best part of the
Oh yeah.
best part of the weekend, the
Yeah,
week.
telling your teacher I ain't here Friday. No way I'm showing up. So that was always
That's
nice to.
unreal. Yeah, that's awesome. But like wrapping this thing up a little bit here, like what are some of what's some good advice that you'd give to players looking to get to the next level, whether it be youth to junior, junior to college, college to pro, or anything in between?
Honestly, just the cliche stuff like work hard and everything like that. And some of the best advice I ever got as well was every time you're on the ice, it's a tryout, right? So my dad
Yeah,
always used to say that to me growing up. Every time you're on the ice, it's a tryout. You never know who could be there watching or whatever the case may be. So just not leaving anything any doubt anytime you're on the ice. You never know when it's going to be your last time for whatever reason, game or
yeah.
practice. So don't take advantage of it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process, and just treat every time like you're on the ice like a tryout, man, because you never know who's there. And when opportunity comes, just be ready.
And just have fun. It's
Yeah.
the best sport in the world, and it's the most fun sport I've ever played. I'm sure you've ever played.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. My first love is this game.
Absolutely, I love that. But let's get on to the fan Q&A here before we cap this episode off. So
Let's do it.
the first question is who is the best duo in the FPHL?
Duo,
Yeah,
like goalie duo.
yeah,
I gotta go Carolina. No.
yeah.
Uh,
Boris asked that, so
did Boris ask that?
yeah. So maybe we have to go trio with Huss there
Yeah,
too as
definitely a
well.
trio. Yeah, that's right, trio for sure.
We'll go trio. But the next question is your favorite Brock University roommate.
Wow, favorite Brock University roommate. That's a tough one between oh man, the Russ Bus, Skylar Pacheco, Adam Lloyd, man, Brooks Foss. I had good roommates, man. I had good roommates. It's really hard to pick one. Dude, it's tough to pick one. You're putting me on the spot. I'm
Lloyd
gonna
asked that
go.
one, so
Who did?
Lloyd.
Loiter did, yeah. See, so he gave me my nickname that like still sticks with me today because he wrote on a pizza box like the Great Cavzini or something like that. Guys like to call me Cavy, and he wrote on a pizza box the Great Cavzini with the pizza with a little Nutella pizza slice in there. And left it in my bedroom one day, and I absolutely loved it. And it's something that sticks with me today. And I'm just a self-proclaimed now, self-proclaimed, and I owe that to him for sure. That's one of the best nicknames I ever was given, and I love it. I love it. I miss him for sure.
That's a great nickname.
No, my favorite one.
Oh yeah, and then the next one is best spot in Winston-Salem to eat.
Man, best spot in Winston-Salem to eat. I got to go Little Italy then, right? Like,
Yeah,
it has to be Little Italy.
there we go. Love that answer. Next one is how do you describe your year in Sweden?
How I what?
How do you describe your year in Sweden?
Um, fun, successful, I would say as well. We had a great team. Did well for myself and was able to get an opportunity that I was striving for the whole year. So I would say fun and successful and memorable for sure.
Nice. Next one is Michelle from Surrey. She said she misses you, and like, what's your favorite hockey moment so far?
My favorite hockey moment. Um, oh wow, my favorite hockey moment. I feel like it has to be. So I guess it's tough because there's so many different ones for me. But I'll go to a Surrey one. I'll go to a Surrey one on this one. It was when we won the first round against Langley, and we had a bunch of our fans travel, and there was so much controversy, or not controversy, but just there was like guys on their team that were like posting social media stuff, calling us a pack of dirty birds or something like that, and and we ended up winning, and our fans were super into it as well, and that I'll remember for sure, especially being on the road and having them travel down and winning that series, which was huge for us. Was awesome. Or sorry, we won. Or sorry, that was game 5 on the road, and then game 6 we won in overtime at home.
Yeah.
But that game
Nice.
5 on the road, was huge to win, to come home and clinch. That's what it was. Game 5 on the road, and our fans traveled to Langley. Sorry, my mistake. That's how that went.
That's awesome.
But
That's awesome. Just great fan experience there too.
oh, dude, they were awesome in Surrey as well. Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you know Pete DeSalvo?
Yeah, the Mad
He said,
Dog.
why is the Mad Dog a legend in the goalie community?
Oh, why is the Mad Dog a legend in the goalie community? Dude, I think the Mad Dog, just the nickname the Mad Dog says it himself, right? I think he's a big talker, and you get sucked into his vortex, so you get talking to him, and he's a huge beauty. So I know everyone who's crossed paths with him has always loved him and
Yeah.
always has good things to say about him. So he's awesome, and he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a beauty for sure. And you like you said, the Mad Dog, probably the best nickname in all of hockey.
Yeah. And those Bryans were awesome too. We had those Bryans with the dog on them. Those were sweet. I love those.
Yeah, those were sick. But the next one is favorite memory of Ange or on wherever you played in Sweden.
Anya.
Yeah, Anya. Yeah.
Favorite memory of Anya. Probably the Northern Lights, because it was like it was right outside our rink. We ran over to the parking lot of our rink, and the lights were right above the rink, and it was all the Canadian guys there, and it was like 1, 2 in the morning, and we were all outside, and that was definitely something that will stick with me, especially because that was something that like I've always wanted to do away from hockey. I've always wanted to just see the Northern Lights. So for me, that was a special moment that I could experience that because of hockey. So that's why that was so special to me as well.
Yeah, that's unreal. You never know what you're gonna experience until you actually experience it like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got 2 more here. What's the hardest part of playing hockey? And she loves watching you play.
Thank you. And hardest part, Oh man, hardest part when people run into me. I don't like that. Like I played goalie so that people wouldn't touch me and people would leave me alone. And people run into me, I don't like it. That's the hardest part of playing hockey.
Have you ever gotten a scrap because someone ran into you?
No, but I pretty much started a brawl in Binghamton this year that that was completely my fault, and of course I ended up suspended. But like no, didn't throw a single punch. Just kind of just kind of was getting protected by everybody around me, which I was super thankful for because I don't think it would have went my way at all.
Sometimes it's better to start the brawl instead of you being the one to get in that brawl.
I was super thankful I got out of there. Got out of there okay, man. That would have been bad news for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But those are fun memories for sure. But the last one is, how many Fall Guys wins do you have?
Not enough, man. Not enough. I think it's like 4 or 5. Not enough. Is that Rosie or
Guess who
Copes?
asked that?
Is that Copes or Rosie for sure?
Yeah, it's Copes.
Copes? Oh yeah, 100%. I want you to bring him on here and ask him how many he had this year though when you bring him on.
I'll have
You
to
bring
bring
him
him on.
back. You
I'll
bring
have
him
to
back.
bring him
Yeah, you
on
gotta bring him
again and
back.
ask that.
Yeah, you gotta ask him. But yeah, not enough, dude. Not enough, man.
Yeah, but hey, you're gonna hopefully get some more wins sometime soon.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. I hope so. The grind never stops.
Absolutely not. But Mario, thank you again for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time, and this is a lot of fun. And I want to wish you the best of luck wherever you end up next season.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, and best of luck to you too. And hopefully we cross paths next year, and maybe you give me my first goalie fight next year. It
Yeah, and
will,
that would be my first too. So we could work on that.
perfect. We can plan it. We'll plan it.
There
Make
we
us
go.
both look good.